So you're a mid to senior level Black lawyer. You have put in all the hours. You've got years and years of experience, and you're ready for that next promotion. And the question that you're asking yourself most likely is, well, what do I need to do? It could even be that you've already asked internally, you've let somebody know that promotion is in your sights. This is something you've got your heart and your mind set on, and you want all the advice. You're inviting in all of the recommendations as to how you can achieve it. So today I'm going to talk to you about exactly what you need to do to make that leap, that jump, take that step actually, because it's not such a big leap, but it is an important step. How you can make that important step between where you are now as a highly accomplished, highly experienced, hard-working, hard-grafting, very trustworthy, very reliable, mid to senior level lawyer. So if you're in private practice, that means a mid to senior level associate. If you are in industry, that could be, depending on the sort of organization of your legal team, it could be anything from being a director to being a legal director. Even head of legal might be a position that for you is mid to senior level, and you're looking at moving into GC or whatever comes next. So I'm going to share with you today exactly how to, let's say, bridge the gap. So instead of thinking about it as a leap or even a step, how you bridge the gap between where you are now with everything that you've built and the status and the experience and the credibility that you have, and where you need to be in order to be promoted, in order for that promotion to be inevitable. So the topic then for today's episode of Legal Imposters, we're on episode 101. It's very exciting. The title and the focus for this episode then is how to position yourself for promotion. So that, my friend, straight away tells you the difference between where you are now and where you need to be in order to make that promotion inevitable. Is you need to position yourself. You positioning yourself is what will bridge the gap. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that in this episode, in this session. Now, for those of you who join me every single week, which will be most of you, if you're new to my channel, if you're new to the podcast, then very warm welcome. I'm actually in a bit of an unusual, a slightly different setup today than my usual desk. I'm in Italy bringing you this recording. And it's very warm. It's quite late at night, actually. So I've got all the lights on. Hopefully you can see me well enough. And it's so warm. And I must confess, there are quite a lot of mosquitoes. So I've had to put on something that covers me up as much as possible so I don't get absolutely mauled during this podcast. Just sharing a bit of context for you to let you know where I am. I've got my dog Otis asleep in the corner, so hopefully he won't disturb me. But if it's a little bit echoey, then just bear with me. I'm pretty sure I have tested the sound. I'm sure it's loud and clear, nice and clear, and you're still able to hear. But yes, it's a slightly different setup today, but still the same valuable content and still me focused absolutely 100% on getting you to that next level, helping you to progress, helping you to achieve your potential, helping you to really get the respect, the recognition, and the rich rewards that you deserve as a Black lawyer that you've worked so hard for. And positioning yourself for promotion is one of the ways in which you will do that. Okay, so let's talk about where you are right now. I already mentioned your experience. You have got this build up of hours. What I had in mind when I was thinking about this episode was a particular client who I'm supporting within Be The First in her bid to become partner. So she's on the partnership track, and we're in that phase of really stacking things in her favor, setting her up to be an irresistible partnership candidate, really helping to build her business case, but all of the other things around that is required actually to be partner. So a lot of what I'm sharing with you in terms of real life context, I've been using and applying inside Be The First. As always is the case, every single week I share with you, give you an insight into exactly what you will get and what you will learn when you join. So you know exactly what you're signing up for, and you know exactly what you need when you're about to make this step. So this particular client, I remember she was at a certain point was getting a little bit frustrated with some of the work we were doing that was of the more so focused on really getting herself positioned to be a partner. And what was happening is she was getting some feedback because her billable hours were a little bit down. She was getting some feedback that was saying like she needs to get her billable hours up. And of course, right, as a bare minimum, you need to be billing and achieving your billable target if you're going to be promoted to partner. That's like a bare minimum. And one of the things she said to me was, for goodness sake, I have been billing and exceeding my target for years, for 8, 9, 10 years. I've been at it. I've been working so hard. Why isn't that enough? And I totally felt for her frustration, right? But also the other thing is it did remind me of so many other clients and so many of you who have that feeling, have that expectation that because of what you've already done, because of all the work, the hours that you've put in, the experience you've acquired, what you've already demonstrated, you think that partnership or promotion is something that is owed to you. You may not exactly use those words, but what I do hear is this expectation that partnership is something that comes off the back of your past contribution. And the message I want you to take away today, if you forget everything else that I teach you and I walk you through, because I'm going to be walking you through these steps later on to position you for promotion. If you forget all of that, the one thing I want you to remember from this episode is that you don't get promoted because of past performance. You get promoted because of future potential. In other words, and not even potential, I want to say the future promise, right? So you will be promoted to partnership if that's where you're at and what you're going for, because and only if those who are already in the partnership, those who make the decision about you being made up, see your potential, believe in the promise of who you will be in the future, who you will be as a partner. In other words, what value you will add going forward. Can you see and really internalize the distinction there? Because it's an important one. The difference between your past performance and your future promise. And it's in looking at your future promise and focusing on that to build and position yourself for partnership that is going to make all of the difference. How many people do you know who've worked really hard, who've put in the hours? I remember so many people who, when I was in private practice, I thought, wow, this was when I was sort of naive to and much more junior, right? So I didn't really know at that stage what it took to be promoted to partner. I wasn't at that stage when I was 1, 2, 3 years qualified. I remember seeing people ahead of me who worked really hard and thinking, wow, they're definitely going to make partner. And this is often the perception, right? That's enough. How hard you've worked will get you there. No, my friend, it's not how hard you've worked that will get you out there. It's the promise of what you will bring that will get you there. So let's talk about how we achieve this. The focus I want to give you today, because there's lots that I could go into and talked about, and I don't want this to be too long, this episode. And I also don't want you to be overwhelmed and feel like this is a lot. But I kind of want to give you a full picture, but I'm going to focus on only the key aspects, the key steps that you need to take to be positioned for partnership. So before I give you those steps, let's talk about in a little bit more detail what being positioned for partnership actually means. And it's simple. It means being or having built yourself to a place, having such credibility, having such promise, future promise, that almost to the point where they come to you, where the partnership they see you, they see what you're capable of, they see your potential as a partner, they see the promise, right? And it's so compelling that they fall over themselves to promote you. This is what we want to have in mind as an objective. Not, hoping, no, I'll just keep working really hard. This is a mistake I see so many of you make. working really hard and hoping that they will notice, or assuming that everybody has noticed and will just, I used to talk about this a lot, this idea that you'll just be plucked out from obscurity, right? And an anointed partner. That's definitely the perception I think some of you have, that it will just happen by default. And I want to offer you that that will not be the case, especially in this day and age where it's competitive, where there's so many, especially in so many of the bigger firms, there are so many partners, where the market has been quite turbulent over the last few years. It is by no means a given that you will be noticed, that people will connect the dots of how hard you've worked and just promote you. So you want to be the one, my friend, who positions yourself. All right, so I've explained positioning yourself is basically making yourself so irresistible, an irresistible candidate for promotion to that role, so irresistible that they basically come and knocking on your door. This is what I want you to focus on. So how do you do that, you ask me? I'm going to talk you through very clear, very simple steps, and there are 6 of them. Now, inside Be the First, we focus on, we lead and we kickstart with step number 1, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But that is I sort of treat that as a pre-step, right? The early first step. It's not the actual 5 steps that you need to position yourself for promotion. But in this episode, so that you can see the whole thing as one picture and as one process, I'm going to talk about 6 steps. Don't let that confuse you. Okay, so the first thing it's very important that you do is you tell people that you want to be partner. Now, there's a question over how soon should you tell them? Is it ever too soon? Is it ever too late? I don't want you to think about that. I want you to be aware of the fact, if you're mid to senior level, you should, and I'm making that jump and assumption that we're talking about partnership, but it could be whatever other promotion role you want. This applies equally if you're in-house. It applies equally if you want to be promoted to counsel, for example. So the important thing is you tell the partnership, whoever the right personal people are, to tell. Now, most likely that is going to be your immediate boss or line manager. You've got to let them know. And I think this is why I don't include it as a kind of key first step. But what I realize is so many of you think you have communicated that you want to be promoted, whereas actually you've never quite specifically articulated it. You haven't actually said the words, I want to be made up partner, I'm going for partnership, partnership is my goal, or promotion, I want to be head of legal, or I would like a GC role. This is my goal. And now I can understand there can be certain sensitivity around who you tell and when you tell. And I won't go into that in this episode. It might be something I cover separately, or better still, when you join Be the First, we'll get really into the nuances of who you tell and when you tell people. But for now, just know that in order to position yourself for partnership or for promotion, people need to know you want the promotion. There's no way they're necessarily going to come knocking on your door if they don't even know you want it. It has happened. I have worked with clients who've been like, okay, I've just been made GC. I didn't even ask for this. What is happening? But that is the exception, not the rule. You want to be the one in charge of your career. You want to be the one taking ownership and deciding what you want, what your goals are. And that means, and the first way you demonstrate that is by communicating it. And it also helps to put everybody else on notice that this is something you care about. This is something that's important to you. This is something you would like their support with. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is, again, we're talking about positioning yourself for promotion, how you can put yourself in the best position to be promoted, how you make yourself irresistible to the powers that be who make the decision about who gets to promoted to the next role. The second thing that's really important you do is you learn to manage your time, right? You must learn to manage your time. It is amazing how many of you are operating at a really senior level, but you are struggling under the weight of overwhelm. You are exhausted. You are saying yes to all of the things. You are overcommitting yourself. You're working all of the hours. You are on the brink of burnout. You're not setting any boundaries. You're completely neglecting your self-care. Now, this It may not be that all of those things are you, but if any one of those things are you, we want to sort it out at this level in order to be in the best position for partnership, both from your perspective of setting yourself up for succeeding when you get there, assuming, and I'm making the assumption that you're going for partnership, but it applies equally, as I've said. Just assume when I say partnership, I mean any type of promotion, because it applies equally for whichever promotion you're after. So looking after your self-care, sorting out the time management struggles is very important at this level, both for yourself, your future success, but also for the powers that be when they see you. They are not going to see you as being ready for partnership if you are struggling under the weight of all of your work, if you don't seem to have the capacity to handle more files or more deals or more clients. So this is really important. If you are someone who says you'll deliver a piece of work on time and you deliver it late, if you are someone who overworks, so you don't delegate, you do it all by yourself, this is a red flag to the powers that be. You cannot be a successful partner or more senior. The more senior you get, the more important it is that you have the skill of delegating, that you have the awareness of the cost of you doing everything and how that cost is passed on to clients, and clients don't want to pay a very senior lawyer to do very junior work. They don't want to pay for it. They won't pay for it, right? Which causes great problems for the business. So taking control, being in control, learning to manage your time is an essential skill you want to achieve or have mastered. And the better you are at that, the better positioned you are going to be for partnership, the more attractive you're going to be to the powers that be. Now, what I hear so many of you say is, yeah, but I'm like at this level, I can't be in control of my time. I'm just given loads of stuff to do. When I'm partner, it will be different. And what I want to offer, my friend, is that there is a way for you to have so much more control over your time. And when you join Be the First, inside Be the First, I teach you a concept called time control, which helps you to set boundaries. It helps you to manage your time so you get more of your work done on time, so that you avoid overwhelm, so you're taking care of yourself, and so that you are highly productive. So don't worry about the how in this episode. Just know that managing your time is step number 2 of the 6 I'm sharing with you today for position yourself for promotion, so that the powers that be find you an irresistible promotion candidate or partnership candidate. And I teach you exactly how. I give you the tools, I give you the skills inside Be the First. Okay, number 3, the way you position yourself to partnership, you've got to receive feedback. So you've got to be able to hear feedback and then implement it, right? So many of you are hearing feedback and then there's this whole load of drama while you make it mean something negative about you, you let it undermine your confidence, or you resist it completely and just decide to ignore it. Okay? If you are ignoring the feedback that you are getting, you will not be seen as the promotion candidate. The feedback you are getting is a huge indicator of what the powers that be who make this decision to promote you are expecting from you. And it is an indicator of what is missing, right? The gap between where you are now and where you need to be. So what's really important is you develop the skill of being able to receive feedback and you implement it quickly. Now, I know that this can be really challenging. And sometimes what comes up for you as a Black lawyer is, oh, they're asking me to be someone I'm not. Or there is something that speaks to, it's undermined my confidence. And there are lots of reasons why you can find receiving feedback really challenging. Again, I don't want you to worry about the exact how. Just know this is something very important for you to do, to position yourself for that promotion, and then join Be the First and I will give you the tools. So for feedback, I literally teach you the feedback formula, and it's a way of receiving feedback without taking it personally, without making it mean anything about you, being able to extract the value from that feedback, really see it as a gift and implement it quickly. And I support you, I coach you, I hold you accountable to that implementation. You don't have to do it on your own. I'm with you every step of the way. So being able to receive feedback is a key step that's going to position you for promotion. what it's going to do is show how receptive you are to learning. It's going to show how quickly you can implement, and it's going to put you in the position where you've done all of the things that you need to do to become partner, right? Because you're getting that feedback and you're implementing it. So that's number 3. Is that number 3? That's number 3. It must be the heat over here. It's making me lose count. Okay, let's talk about step number 4 for positioning you for promotion. Step number 4, you've got to build those relationships. And specifically, you've got to build relationships with, I want to say, the right people. And what I mean by that is build relationships with the people who have influence, the people who can support you to get to that next level, the people who will be making the decision about whether you're the right person to be promoted or to take on that role. The people who can include you in all of the rooms, for example, where you need to be to position yourself to be seen as being ready for that higher role, for that promotion. So building relationships is really important. It's so key. Here's the mistake I see so many of you making. You're building relationships, but you're building relationships with the quote unquote wrong people. Now, I don't really mean they're the wrong people. When you go to networking events and you're networking with people who look like you, that is fantastic. It's so valuable. You get so many contacts, you get so many introductions, opportunities, and so much advice and mentorship from that networking. It's fantastic. But my friend, it isn't enough. You absolutely must be building relationships with people who are different to you. I'm talking about all the people you think you have nothing in common with, all right? So this is key. It's going to help position you for that promotion. Without this, you're kind of outside of the game. You're doing all of this career progression work over here, but actually the real decisions are being made somewhere else and by other people. Now, I know, and I hear this a lot from you, that the people who make the decisions about promoting you, they're often very different to you and you struggle to connect with them. You tell me I don't have anything in common with them, which is why, of course, it feels so comfortable to go and network with people who look like you. But I want you to not worry about that at all. Inside Be the First, I've got you covered. I teach you a concept called Relate Agility, where you literally learn to build connection, build relationships with anybody. It doesn't matter what their background, doesn't matter how different they are to you. This becomes a skill so that you can, once you learn this skill, you can walk into any room, connect with anyone. It's a massive skill to have. Lots of people can build relationships with people who are similar to them and they have something in common with. It's something else to be able to build a relationship with somebody who is, let's take the extreme opposite. So my example, an elderly white male who has had a really privileged upbringing. Like, there couldn't be anyone more different to who I am. Whereas I have built the skill, mastered over years and years of both being exposed to environments where I needed to develop that skill very quickly when I was very young, from the age of 6 in an all-white school, but also having developed the skill, practiced it, and through my coaching also, and having used it in my own career as a lawyer and in my work now, really, really good at building those relationships. And so I brought everything that I have in terms of my experience and my expertise, and I've condensed that into something I can teach you. I can teach you Relate Agility. So when you join Be the First, this is what you're going to be able to do. It's not going to be a problem. So that's step number 4, right? At building the relationships, those key relationships. That's going to be super simple and available to you with my process. Okay, 2 more to go. Step number 5 is being visible. You've got to be visible. You've got to be known. People need to know who you are. This positions you for partnership because, like, honestly, at a certain point, you're going to need the buy-in and the support of a much broader range of people than those in your immediate team or in your immediate group. Even in your location, you're going to need to be known by people outside of your location, outside of your group. This is both through getting their support when it comes to the vote, but long before that, it's actually about bringing in those opportunities as well. The more visible you are, the more people see you, see what you can do, what you're capable of, the more opportunities you're going to attract. And I'm talking high quality opportunities. So when you are highly visible, when everybody knows your name, when your name comes up in rooms and you're not even there, and they talk about what you do and talk about how great you are and talk about the experience that you bring, then, my friend, that's how you know you are positioned for promotion, okay? So this is really important. What might stop you from doing that? I hear it all the time. Fear of being exposed, fear of being vulnerable by being visible can make you feel very uncomfortable. Trust me, I know. I'm constantly being visible. You'll see me constantly posting on social media. I send out emails regularly. I do talks. I stand on stage. Even after all of these years of experience, it's still really challenging for me sometimes. I still feel very uncomfortable. But being visible is so important. And I've got the tools and I use them again and again and again to help me overcome the fear of being exposed, overcome the fear of being feeling vulnerable, right? So I've got the skills. I'm going to be able to teach them to you. And particularly for those of you who are very resistant of using social media in this way, I do cover that as well, help you to be much more courageous, it is courageous, but much more confident about using social media, posting on social media, and leveraging, that's probably the right word rather than leveraging social media, which is such a powerful way to raise your visibility, okay? And of course, that's going to make you known and make you everybody knows who you are, everybody knows what you do and how well you do it, you're going to be so well positioned for that promotion. I just want to add this, is that I've been talking about this a lot with my eldest children about the job market, and also with clients inside Be The First. And it's how often it always comes back to the people you know. And what we see is the best opportunities and also the promotions. We as humans, and I'm including everyone in this, we're quite lazy, right? So if we can find someone, if there's someone right in front of us who fits the bill, right, who fits what we're looking for, then we will just choose that person in front of us. It doesn't matter if there are 9 people behind them that are as qualified, as good, potentially even better. If the person we see and hear and who's front of mind, if that person ticks enough boxes, we're going to choose that person. I want you to think about what that means for you getting promoted. It means that the person who is front of mind, in other words, the one who is most visible, because the more visible you are, the more front of mind you will be. The person who is front of mind is going to get the opportunities, is going to be seen, is going to be invited into those rooms that lead to the promotion. So being visible is so important. I know it can be challenging, but I've got all of the tools. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to take you through a visibility challenge. I did a podcast on this a few weeks ago. I'm going to take you through a visibility challenge inside Be The First. I'm going to help you and support you and hold you accountable, but hold your hand every step of the way of increasing your visibility, so you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to feel exposed and vulnerable, or at least not feel that exposed and vulnerable and you're left and that's something you're stuck with. I help you work through that. I help you process those emotions and come out the other side so that you're able to really show up and be visible, so that people need to know. People need to know who you are. They need to know your name. They need to know what you do and how well you do it. And I give you the confidence and the courage to do that. Okay, that was number 5. We've got one more to go. And that is, of course, about you showcasing your value. I talk about this a lot, the importance of not just being valuable, but showing everybody how valuable you are. This is so important. Don't leave it to the powers that be to connect the dots and see, oh, they've been working really hard. Oh, they've been with me for this many years. Oh, these clients really like them. And leave it to other people to connect the dots about how valuable you are. No, my friend, you need to be the one who, first of all, knows your value. This is a whole other subject, right? I'm not going to get into it now, even though I'm tempted, but you must know your value first. You can't expect other people to know your value when you don't know your value. So that's step number one. And if you doubt your value, this is the work that absolutely must be done. And it's all part of, again, don't worry, we cover this inside Be the First. I look at this piece, help you to know your value, because there's the knowing your value and then being able to talk about it, showcase it. So being able to articulate your value, being able to bring it into conversations in a way that makes sense, in a way that's natural, showcasing what you can do in a way that shows people how you can help them. Now, I know for a fact that one of the things you struggle with is the fear of sounding cocky or sounding arrogant. I hear that all the time, right? Is that you? Where you're like, oh, but I can't talk about what I'm good at or what I just did because that's going to make me sound I'm going to be like one of those people who's really cocky. Now this, I just want you to know, is a really normal hang up to have, but it's one you absolutely need to resolve and get past in order to position yourself for that promotion. Remember, there's being front of mind, yeah, so being visible is really important. But in being visible, you want people to see not just you, but how much value you bring. And not just the value you bring at this level that you're at now, but the value that you will bring at that next level when you're promoted. So remember, I talked about the reason why you get promoted is not because of your past accomplishments or experience, it's because of the future promise. So what the promise is that you will deliver at that next level. So what's very important is that you start showcasing that. For one of my clients, as an example, I got her really starting to take to view her decision making through a partnership lens, really to step into the role of being a partner by thinking like a partner, making decisions that a partner from a place that a partner would. So thinking about the business, thinking about the team, thinking about the clients. So this is an example of a great way to showcase your value, is if you're able to demonstrate the skill set that you already have, which is needed at that next high level. All right, I have raced you through 6 things you need to do to position yourself for that promotion, to make yourself an irresistible candidate for that next role. There's one final thing that encompasses everything that I've just told you, all 6 of those steps, and that is your mindset. Your Be the First mindset. That's what we call it inside Be the First. The way you think about yourself, the belief you have in yourself. This, my friend, is absolutely key. Again, what we want is for you to be the one to lead the way with your belief. What you're doing when you position yourself for promotion is you are selling people on the fact that you are the right person. You are positioning yourself as exactly the right person for the role, the person that they want, the person that they've been waiting for. You want to have a deep level of belief in yourself that you are that person. Now, don't worry. I know for so many of you, because so many of you tell me, and this is what my clients bring when they join in and Be the First, they bring this self-doubt, they bring the uncertainty as to whether they are actually the right person. And it could be on the surface you feel really confident, but actually you have some niggling doubts and uncertainties and insecurities. And I want to say that's okay. That's exactly why Be the First is the program it is. It is so much more than the strategy is amazing, right? You get those skills, you get those tools, you get the blueprint, right, to position yourself for promotion, to succeed at the next level. You get all of the strategy, but what makes Be the First so unique and so powerful is the mindset work you do inside it, by which I mean how I help you to believe you're the first, how I help you to believe in your capability, in your potential, and what you're capable of, your capability, how I help you to believe that you can create a result for yourself. You can set a goal, go after it, and achieve it. This piece, my friend, is absolutely key. It's the be the first mindset, your belief that you are the right person for the role. You are exactly the one they're looking for, and you are going to make a success of that role. You want to believe that, and that belief to infuse, I don't know if that's the right word, but certainly to thread through every single one of those 6 ways that I've just walked you through to position yourself for partnership. Okay. I hope you found that really helpful. I've given a very clear blueprint for you for exactly what you need to do to get that promotion. Now, here's the call to action. I'm going to be really explicit right now. None of that is going to happen unless you take action and you decide, do you know what? Okay, I am ready. I'm going to position myself for promotion. I think what I'm hearing or have heard over the last year or so is so many of you are like, yeah, I'm going to join Be the First when I'm ready to go for promotion. And what I hope you will understand and will have heard as I've talked through that process is how this work doesn't happen overnight. You don't position yourself for promotion, 2 months before like the role comes up, or when the role has been announced, or 2 months before they're announcing who's on the partnership track. No, my friend, you want to be positioning yourself 6 to 12 months ahead of time. Honestly, if you're 12 months away from wanting to be like put on the partnership track, now is prime time for you. If you're 6 months away from wanting to be put on the partnership track or promotion track for whatever it is, now is the essential time. It's now about to become urgent. You want to start doing this work right now. Building your visibility, building relationships, showcasing your value, receiving and implementing feedback, building those relationships with people who are different to you, having those conversations around wanting to be promoted. None of that happens overnight. And of course, you're also doing your day job, so you want to allow yourself the time. I recommend, that's the right word, 6 months minimum, 6 to 12 months lead time to position yourself. And I hope you find that helpful to have that guideline rather than something to make you think, something you might be thinking, oh no, I've missed the boat, or oh no, that's ages. Why will it take so long? Trust me, the more time you can give yourself, the better positioned you will be when that role comes up, the ideal role, the one you're looking for, or when the time comes for you to step onto that partnership track, the better positioned you'll be when you give yourself all that time. So I want to invite you to join Be the First, and let's start this work right away. I'm enrolling for the September 2025 class of Be the First. I'm enrolling for that. Enrollment starts. So this episode will be published, will go out on Wednesday the 20th. Enrollment opens tomorrow. It opens on Thursday, the 21st of August. So if you are a mid to senior level Black lawyer, I want to invite you with open arms to join Be the First. Enrollment is going to be open for 7 days only. So from the 21st to the 28th, I've got 10 spots starting in September. I want to encourage you to join, get on board. Let's start this work together. Let's start building you up so that you are perfectly positioned for that next promotion when that time comes, when the time is right, and when you are ready, okay? If you have any questions at all, then you have so many different ways to reach out to me. You can DM me on social media. I'm having a few issues on Facebook, so don't DM me on Facebook just yet. Facebook has closed my account again, but DM me on Instagram, DM me on LinkedIn, and you can also email me, caroline@carolineflanagan.com. And I want to recommend, look out for my social media posts, look out for my emails, where I'll be sharing more and more details about exactly what's inside Be the First, what you can expect, what it will entail, and how, most importantly, I'm going to get you set up really well positioned for that next promotion. It's been a pleasure. I'm signing out from a very warm Italy, but I think I've done it. Hopefully the audio has been good enough for you, and I'll be back this time next week, but we'll hear from each other between now and then, because I'm going to be posting all over social media, and I'll be looking out for your DMs and for your emails. Sending love. I'll speak to you next week. Bye for now.